Hey, welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm truly grateful. Today I have a special guest, Mr. Peter B. I think you're down in Florida, right, Peter?
Yes, sir. Southwest Florida.
Yeah, he just wants to tell his story of meeting the wrong woman over here in the Philippines and what can happen. We'll first just start off with, how old are you, Peter?
I'm 57.
57. Yeah, we're about the same age. I'm 59 actually.
Yeah, I'll be
Now,
58 in June.
yeah, I do want to say thank you for your service to the community. I know you're a retired law enforcement officer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. And when did you start traveling to the Philippines?
Probably about maybe 13 years back and
13
forth.
years ago? Yeah.
Yeah. My
Now,
first time I just went with friends.
right. Now, how did you hear about the Philippines? Were you in the service or something?
Well, I was in the army, but I wasn't stationed in the Philippines. It's actually my brother's married to a Filipina, and I went to a couple of their parties, and see a lot of older men with younger women, and that kind of caught my eye. I was kind of intrigued by that, so that got my whole juices flowing about seeing the Philippines.
Yeah. So, did you? So did you meet your wife? When you came over here,
Well,
how'd that work?
one of the young ladies from the party asked me if I'd been to the Philippines, and I said no. I said I would love to go, but I'm nervous about going by myself because I didn't think they really spoke English. And then so she said, "Well, I'm going back home on a such date. You're welcome to come to meet with me, and I'll tour you around the Philippines." So I said, "Great," So I went there, and not knowing that her cousin's a famous basketball player in the Philippines. I don't want to say his name without him knowing, but they took me everywhere. We had a blast. I mean, Manila, Greenbelt. We went to Clark, Subic. I mean, we just bounced from island to island. We had fun. It was a fun time. But
Yeah.
when I was there, one of the ladies I met with the group said that she had a sister or a cousin that she wanted me to meet, but she was in Saudi Arabia. She was a nurse and she had one child. And I said, that's fine. So later that night, I'm in my hotel room taking a power nap because we're all getting ready to go out again. I get a message on Facebook for some young lady, and I'm assuming it's her. And it's the same story. She's a nurse. She's in Saudi Arabia, but it wasn't the same one. It's what, 2 years of chatting. I decided to meet her after the first year. I went down there a couple of times, and then I decided, yeah, I'm going to marry her. But it was 2 years of online long distance relationship. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
How
one of those
how is that
stories.
long distance relationship for guys that don't
I mean,
really have a clue? Because I talk about it all the time, because obviously you start having feelings for her. You had met her before. Was it tough being away from each other?
yeah, it was. I mean, I think I looked for every excuse under the sun to break up so I can go out and do my thing, which wasn't right either. But I'm gonna tell you, she pursued me so much. I felt like, man, this lady must really love me because no matter how hard I try to break up with her, she'd call me through the police department. She'd call me on my cell phone, my police cell phone. She knew all kinds of ways to get a hold of me that I was like shocked that she knew how
Yeah.
to track me down. When I was on the
You
job
know,
working.
and it's funny that you talk about, your job as a policeman and everything, because you're no dummy. And that's what I
No.
want people to understand, that what happened to you, what happened to me, it happens to the best of us. You can't see through those pretty little faces, can you?
No, no, not at all. I mean, I was manipulated. I mean, I met there. I met her family. Her family was dirt poor. They live in a province over in Shatin, Philippines, not too far from Dumaguete. The father had a lot, and my dream was to retire one day and live in the Philippines. So, of course, I built a big house, cashed in my retirement because it was toward the end. I built a huge house in the Philippines, and then I bought a lot. We happened to have a Philippines half cement, half bamboo, two-story house on the beach. I purchased that also. That was going to be my dream home was live on the beach, and then that's what I wanted to do. But
Wow.
Cost me about
Yeah.
$200,000, and I had nothing to show for it in the Philippines. You
Oh wow.
know?
So you built the house over here first.
Yes,
Okay. Now that was on land that who owned
her
that
father,
land?
her father did.
A father
Her
on the
father,
land. Because I know you told
yeah.
me that. How did you buy the land? You said you traded a
I
brand
traded for
new
a truck.
truck.
Yeah, brand new. I bought him a brand new vehicle. He wanted a Ford pickup truck. He never had a four-wheel vehicle before. It was his dream to have a four-wheel. So I said, "I'll tell you what, I'll buy you the truck, and you give me the land." You know, and he was all happy with that. It was only two lots over from where they lived, so they were right there to take care of it when no one was there. You know, so
Yeah.
we built it from scratch, big 2 stories, a beautiful house, Key West style home. You know, it was nice,
Wow.
but
So
it
then
is
you
what it
bought.
is.
So then you. And how long was it before you bought the other lot with the house?
Probably within a year of building the one house, I bought the other lot because I was done. I was retired, ready to go. I cashed in my retirement. I took a lump sum instead of getting a monthly payments. I took a lump
Yeah.
sum and I built the one house. And then I just found a lot online. It said it was like a half acre beach house. It didn't say beach house. It said half acre lot. So I said, wow. I told my father-in-law, and my mother-in-law about it, and so they went out there and looked and checked it. It was maybe 20 kilometers from where my property was, and they said, hey, it's got a house on it. And I said, what? And they said, yeah, it's got a four-bedroom house on it, a 2 story. And I said, that included in the lot? And they said, yeah. So I mean, it was no brainer. I mean, it needed to be fixed up, but it was nice to go
Yeah.
there and take showers and stay out of the sun if you wanted to. You know, what I mean, I had all
Mhm.
coconut trees and everything. It was beautiful. You know, we put big bamboo
Yeah.
fences around it. I added a road to get it because it had maybe a 3 meter road to get to the house, and we ended up making like a 20 meter yard driveway from the street back to the beach property because it was private property. So I had to buy everybody's little single piece of property to get to it.
Okay. So 200,000 US. That would be
Yeah,
approximately 11 million pesos
pesos.
right now. And you said you don't have anything to show for it. Let's get into that part. Okay. So you
Yeah.
fall in
Well,
love.
yeah,
You do the K1 visa? Did you get
yeah.
married
K1
over here?
visa. No, K1 visa. Did a
Okay, so you
K1 visa,
bring
and
her.
she came over. Yeah, she was
Okay,
working in Saudi Arabia for 10 years. She was a nurse in Saudi Arabia.
yeah,
Yeah, she came over here to the US. We got married like the second day that she got off the plane. We went and got married. Just a quick justice of peace type marriage. Um, you know, I thought it was our dream, but it must have just been my dream. I wanted to work 5 more years. We have a house here in Florida. I figured we'll sell the house and we can retire comfortably over there in the Philippines. And if she still wanted to do nursing, she could work in Saudi Arabia as an American nurse now and really make big money. I said, if you want to do that, or we come back to Florida, we'll buy an RV, or we'll just do traveling nurse, 4 or 5 months a year and then live in the Philippines the rest of the time. So I have to come back once a year anyways, regardless, for visa, issues. And
yeah.
but apparently, when I was going back all the time to work on the house and doing the construction, because I was there quite a bit, I'd go 3 or 4 times a year, and I'd stay in the Philippines
By
and build.
yourself.
Yeah, by myself. And apparently, she started seeing somebody when I was gone, and she didn't want to give him up. And that's how it happened.
Now, how long were you married?
I was married 7 years. We're together 10, but married 7.
Okay, now how long was it before you found out she was seeing somebody else?
Well, when I come back, it was like she was kind of distant, and then she worked nice our whole marriage. So it got to the point where we weren't intimate no more. We never, I'd see her a couple of minutes when she got home from work, and then she'd go to bed, and then the same thing. I'd see her for an hour or two before she go to work, and it's like she never wanted me to touch her anymore. So usually that's one of the biggest signs when they don't want you to touch you anymore. Something's
Wow.
going on because man, we had a strong sexual relationship, and all of a sudden it
Yeah.
fizzled out every now and then. And then
Right.
I was on the one day when she was gone, I went to get on the computer and I seen all these different emails, from like her first name and maybe a different last name or her nickname, and I'm like, what is all this in the history? So I started opening them up, and I seen pictures of him. I seen messages going back and forth. That's how I found out. So when she came home one day, I confronted her, and then she told me, she's been seeing someone. And I
Now,
said,
was
well,
he?
you know,
You said he was a doctor. You said he was
I
a
thought he
doctor.
was I thought he was a doctor. I just recently found out that he's not a doctor. He's a, uh, a manager of a car dealership, a big dealership. So I thought he was a doctor. I thought she met him at the hospital. This is what I was
So he was
thinking, but
he was a doctor of love, evidently.
that's about what it is. You know what I mean? Because it was funny because since I wrote that letter to you, in my feed on my phone, a picture of her popped up, and I was like, oh, that was strange. I was just talking about her, and the picture pops up. So I click on it, and I see, this guy with her in her Facebook and her son. So I said, this is strange. So I click on it. And I found out the guy's name and who he is and what he does for a living. That's how I found out. And I
Yeah.
was just shocked. I mean, but it is what it is.
But you
You
told
know?
me that she said something. She said that she never loved you, that she
Yeah,
was
she told me
only for the
yeah,
visa.
she said she never loved me. She said it was basically to get over here to U.S. She said she's sorry it happened the way it happened. She said, but you wanted the property, you wanted the house. She probably reversed everything was my fault. I wanted everything, and it's not. Well, it wasn't her dream. It was my dream. Her dream was to come here. She's still going to school to be a nurse practitioner. Whether she is now or not, I don't know. I know she's the administrator for a hospital, so she climbed pretty fast. She's very smart. I'll give her that. She's educated. So you don't become a cop to make money. I don't know if you can still hear me or not. The picture froze. You still there? Hello? Hey, there you are.
Oh yeah. I lost my connection, man. I want to apologize. I'm
No
over
problem.
here in the Philippines. But yeah, let's go back to you. You said that she told you she never loved you, that she came over here just to get to the United States.
Yeah. Well,
And
I don't know if she never really loved me because I mean I always felt that she did. So whether I mean that's what she says, but I didn't feel it that way. But you know, time
yeah,
changes everybody.
right. And you said that she said she made it look like it was that you wanted to buy the land and all that. So you don't have
Correct.
any legal rights to anything over there that you spent your money on.
No, because what happened was I gave the mom and dad power of attorney. Say something happened to us since they were in the Philippines with a property. And when I bought the property from the father, it was in the father's name and it was his property. But the situation, I kept asking my wife, we need to put it in our name. We need to put it in our name. It's our house. I want to put it in our name. But she kept saying, they play dumb. Like they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do this. They don't know how to do that. Everything was, we don't know. We don't know. We live in the Providence. We never had to do this before. It was one of those type situations. So I mean, I can't make her do it.
Yeah.
I
So
asked her to
what
do it,
about
and
the
I already
truck?
built it.
That was
It was
yes. So
everything was
they
everything was in the
did the
father's
family
name.
turn. Okay. So did the
Yeah.
family turn on you when you
No, no, mom
uh
and they're good to me. I still call them mom and dad. And if I talk to them on Facebook, they're more than happy to talk to me. New Year's Eve and Christmas, I got calls from the auntie wishing me a happy New Year, Merry Christmas. She calls me. They ask me if I'm doing okay. I said yeah, and things like that.
so wouldn't um they allow you to live in the beach house then if you wanted to?
I don't know. I never asked them. I mean, I know they'd want to ask their daughter for permission, but they told the daughter that I was the one that cheated and I left her. That this is all untrue, but this is what she told them all. You know what I mean? And it was funny because I even sent the picture of the guy that she was cheating with to the family so they could see it. And that she just said that's just a friend. But now she's married to him, so yeah, some
Yeah.
friend. But
Yeah.
they
So
always I'm Catholic, 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 but you're not a true Catholic if you do what you did. That's how I look at it. You know,
yeah. Now did it take you a while, I guess, to to get over that? I mean, I guess it blindsided you, right?
Yeah, it blindsided me. At one time, you know, her mom and dad wanted us to reconciliate and get back together. And I told her mother and father, I don't mind, but I said she would have to give up this guy. I was willing to accept her back. But I said we'd have to go to marriage counseling. So she agreed to go to marriage counseling. We went one time together, and then she just stopped going altogether and said that, you know, she can't do it. So
Yeah. How old was she?
she just turned 40 January. So we
So
were
you
divorced
so
2 years ago. So
so she was 38. So she was how old when you met her?
she 30, 29 or 30.
29 or 30. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
somewhere in
you
there.
you were about 46, I guess.
Yeah,
47.
yeah, yep. That's it.
Yeah. Now,
And you know,
do you
no
have any
kids.
regrets? Do you have any regrets? I mean, looking back,
Yeah, well,
did you see any red flags?
um, no, I mean, I tried to break it off with her a few times, but I just couldn't do it. You know, what I mean, I kept saying no, no, no. Then her sisters would call me, her mother would call me, you know, and then I, you know, give her a second chance, a third chance, fourth chance. You know, if you know inside if something's right and something's wrong. When I was dating her, I just felt that, you know, it wasn't right. We weren't meant for each other. But, you know, glutton for punishment, I figured, well, you know, maybe she really cares for me because she chased me, you know, so much. It
Yeah,
was unbelievable, and how she tracked me down all the time, being in another country. I was shocked
absolutely.
by it. Yeah,
Well, you know how valuable that visa is,
I do now. Yeah,
yeah, and a life in the United States for some people, not everybody, but so they'll pursue you to the gates of hell, and they'll
yeah, I
do
see that.
whatever you want them to do, and they'll tell you whatever they want you to know to get over there.
Yeah,
But so 2 years, and so are you over it now? Have you moved on?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I moved on. I mean, I just I think the other day I happened, like I say, I told you I saw her on the Facebook thing. I wasn't looking for it; it just
Yeah,
popped up on a feed, and it kind of got my memories going a little bit, so it just jarred me a little. So if I sound like a little negative, that's the only reason why. But no,
no,
I'm good
no,
with it overall. You know,
you
I'm good
don't
with it
sound
all.
negative.
No,
See,
I'm ready.
we need,
I want to be happy, man.
that's
That's
right.
why I
We
want to
need
come
more
to. I want to
stories.
come to the Philippines. I'm ready, but I don't have a big pension. That's what I was worried about. That's why I keep hitting you guys up about 12, thirteen
Yeah,
hundred a month, and enough to live on. Da da da. You know, that's my whole thing. You know, what I mean, I want to live comfortable. I'm not a player. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I keep to myself a lot. I mean, I need to get out of my box a little bit. Maybe, you know, be around people more. I'm a people person when I'm around them. People think I'm strict when they first meet me, but I'm not strict at all. I'm a joker.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. You've got something going for you though. You've been here before, so it's
Yes.
not going to be nothing's going to be a shock to you. You basically
No.
know, your way around a little bit, what to eat, what not to eat. You've got
Yeah.
some knowledge under your belt, so that's going to help you. So you're going to come back, and are you going to try it again, or
Oh yeah,
are you going
definitely.
to
I
just
don't know if I
say,
want. I don't think I want to get married again. I don't know about that. It would really take something special to get me to get married again. I've been married twice, so I don't want to get married again. My first wife was Colombian, so I like Latino and now the Filipino women.
yeah,
So um,
right?
yeah, I'm Italian
Now,
Irish. So
what was the
what's that?
difference? Because I know both of those are big Catholics. Are Colombians Catholic too?
Yes, she's Catholic also. I just got married too young. I got married at 18 years old. I was in the army, and it was just, you know, we could grew apart. But you know, I'm still friends with her, and we have a daughter together. My daughter's 34. You know, so you know, I have a good relationship. There's
Yeah,
times like if I visit my daughter for holidays, her mother's beautiful. She's an itty bitty thing. You know, runs marathons, gorgeous, gorgeous. Her mother's beautiful, but it's like everyone's like we'll go
yeah.
somewhere and we dance salsa, merengue. I can dance, so we'll dance, and then people come to the table. Hey, can I dance with your girlfriend? I said that's my wife, and everyone they go look at me, you know. I said no, it's ex-wife. You could take her, you know. But you know, I always kid
So
around
what
with her,
what is the
but
lesson that we can learn from from your situation, because that's why I do these videos. It's not to make fun of anybody's situation, because that's a serious situation. You're spending all that
Oh, I
money,
know.
all that time. You know
Well, you
what?
can't take it with you, man.
Yeah.
Can't take it with you.
Do you think that? Well, you said y'all was a long distance relationship for 2 years, so
Yeah.
it's almost
I just take things slow, and like say, even when you do get married, don't start building this house and stuff. Wait to get together 5 years at least. In my opinion, wait 5 years to make sure she's definitely the one before you're gonna fork out another $40,000-$50,000 to build a house. You could build a nice house for 20, 25, depending on what you want. I mean, I wouldn't go so elaborate next time. Something small, 1, 2 bedroom little place. And I mean, I like your place with a little thing in the backyard, a little house in the back. That's ideal. I
yeah,
mean, if I could find that in
yeah.
Florida, I would live in the little one and rent my big house out. I do
So
have
let
a
me ask
house, and
you
if I
something.
sold it, I do good.
Who lives in that house now?
Which one? In the Philippines?
Yeah, the 200,000. I mean, the big house you built.
Yeah, nobody. It's empty. It's just they
They
use
don't
it for
even
storage. They use it for storage sometimes. They have rice farms and things like that. It's funny because I
really.
bought furniture for the house. It was all furnished. And sometimes I see videos and my furniture's in their house, and it's weird. And we come back, the furniture's back in my house. It's just, I don't know. So I would buy them furniture. Just no matter what I did, I couldn't do enough, put it that way.
Yeah. Now you told me you had a unique situation. Now you said you had something like a friends with benefits situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm dating a Filipina girl now. And she's nice. She's 34 years old. But I like her, but I'm not in love with her. I mean, I care about her, but I would like to go back to the Philippines. That's where I want to live and retire. She's only been here a little over a year. She don't want 3 years she's been here. She don't want to go back to the Philippines. I said, you got a house and a condo in the Philippines that's yours now. Why don't you go back? And she just says, I don't want to go back until I make it. I said, I don't understand it. I said, you're 34 years old. You got a house and a condo. Nobody in the Philippines at your age owns something like that. You know what I mean? So, but I don't know.
Now, how did she get all that?
Through a marriage, she was married to an American, same kind of situation that I went through. You know what I mean? But
Oh
he was
wow.
very abusive. He would beat her, domestic violence situation with her. She
Yeah.
lives in my community, and I know her because I knew her husband too, and she needed a place to go, and she stayed at a shelter for a little while, and then she had to get out of there. And she bounced around a couple of little places here and there. And then I finally said, hey, look, if you need a place, I got a big house. I live by myself. I said, you're welcome to use one of the rooms. And then we
Yeah.
just started, of course, we see each other all the time and things happened, you know what I mean? But I just tell her, you're just my friend. You're just my friend. And she says she understands. So I know
Yeah.
she cares for me. I know she
Oh,
likes me a lot, but I'm just not in love. And I want to go to the Philippines. I always meet women in my life, and it's like I don't do the things that I want to do. I compromise everything I want for them. I want them to be happy. I always want the person I'm with to be happy and not myself. This time I
yeah.
want to put myself first to be happy. You know what I mean? So that's what I really want to
Yeah. I
do.
did
And
a
I think if I go to the
video.
Philippines, yeah, I'll go to the Philippines. I'll do 3 months and see if I really want to do it. If I want to do it, I either rent the house for the first year or I'll sell it, and I'll have enough money, to move on my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, we have
so
to
I don't
be the
know.
first priority, but you said exactly what most of us do wrong.
Mhm.
We put the woman as the number one priority, and
Correct.
we suffer because of that. You
Correct.
it's not about being in reservation. If you can't take care of Peter, how you going to take care of anybody else? And
That's true.
another thing I got out of this was you said wait till about 4 or 5 years before you build that house and lot to make
Correct.
sure that she's the one. Guys,
Yeah.
and people watching this, it's a lot of gems in this interview. If you were
Yeah.
listening, I mean, he
Yeah.
laid it on the line, but you don't seem bitter to me.
No, I'm not. I'm happy with it. But one thing that I did learn out of this also, if I was to meet someone, I want someone with a small family, not someone who's got 10 children in the family and they have to help support the family. Because if one person makes it out of the, say, 13 kids, that person's going to support the rest of the family. Then when that family gets married and so on, you're still supporting it. So it's very difficult. That's just their culture. So you just got to watch out what you get involved into. Look at the whole picture, because you're not going to come
Yeah,
down and put American values in the Philippines. It ain't happening.
yeah. I
So,
think. Hello. Oh, okay. He's cutting off the light. I
no
think
problem.
we had a lot in common, man. When you said that once they come to America, they don't want to leave. And see, that's
Correct.
the mistake I made. My wife said that she didn't want to go to America in the beginning. That's why
Mhm.
I decided to be with her, because I said, okay, this is going to fit right into what I'm trying to do. Because eventually I'm going to
Yeah.
move back over to the Philippines. She agreed. She took a leave of absence for her job and everything. But hell, after 6 months, she turned around and left and went back, man. And, that was the beginning of the end of our relationship. And I was just kind of shocked. I was like, well, wow, you know, I thought
Yeah.
you wanted to move back. But I guess it's like us in reverse,
Yeah.
They
Plus,
they see
she
something
also,
new.
yeah, but she also mentioned that she wanted to have a child, and I told her from the get go, I don't want kids. I don't mind if they have kids. I just don't want a father, no more children. And she couldn't. She told me afterwards that she felt that she could change me to have kids, and I said, no, you can't change someone who
Yeah.
absolutely only have one, and that's it. One and done. I don't want one. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't mind if they have kids. I just didn't want no more children. You know.
Right. Does she have a child now?
Yeah, he's about 17 now. He's still in the Philippines. He's never came to the U.S. Yeah, I
Oh, so she
sponsored him
was.
to come.
So she already had a child when y'all were together.
Yes. Yeah. He was only about
Oh,
5 years
okay.
old, 6 years old. Yeah. He's young. No, he's a good kid. He's a big kid, bigger than I am. I'm 6 foot tall. He's as tall as me,
Yeah.
but he outweighs me
Oh,
about
wow.
100 pounds.
Yeah.
He's a big boy, heavy
So
boy.
what's your plan? How many years is your return, or is it imminent? Are you coming
Oh, I'm
anytime
coming.
soon?
Yeah, I was just there in September. I was there for a month in September. I stayed in Iloilo, and
Okay. Yeah.
I liked it. I went Ilu, and I went. I think it was called Gimaris Island. I went over there and stayed
Yeah.
there for a while too. It was nice. Those are the only two areas I went. I was gonna go to Dumaguete and go see the old house, but then I said, well, I don't want to go unless the family knows I'm coming. And then they had a typhoon hit over there too, and then a hurricane hit Florida, and I lost my roof on my house and all my sailings. All right, now I just finally got to put back together, but I'm still dealing with the insurance company. So once I get the insurance company settled, and I get whatever leftover money's left over from that situation, if there's any, um,
Yeah.
I'm buying a ticket and I'm taking off for a few months. I'm ready to come. I'm thinking maybe April and May I'll be there. I want to meet you.
Let
I
me
figure
ask
I'll
you
come over there.
something.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to your ex-wife and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about moving to the Philippines. Can I move in our house?" Or she angry
No,
with you? I mean, what's that all about? Because she didn't spend any money. That's your money. You would think
I
that
know.
she would allow you to stay in that house.
For some reason, they think because they came here and they worked 1 year, 2 years, they put equal amount of money into the place. That's their mentality of thinking. But it don't. It takes years to build a nest egg up. You can't come here at 20 years old and work 5 years and think that you have $100,000 saved up. There's no way. But that's the mentality. They think because they're working, they're paying taxes, even if they're splitting it with you. They think that they made all that money also. So your retirement and their retirement is same. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, I'm so much older than my wife at the time. I mean, a 17 years difference in age. Me and my wife were 17 and a half years. So, but I think that's what her thing. So she
Okay.
says a lot of bitter, I mean, because of that. And then, we got two attorneys, and of course, I had a better attorney than she did, and she spent a lot more of the money than I did. But you, you can't, a younger woman, you can't tell them, you can't give them advice because they don't understand. They want to learn on their own. And I tell them, but I said, yeah, but you're going to be a lot of falling down, and it costs you a lot of money to get back up. Where I'm experienced, I already did that. I'm just giving you foresight. Plus, being a cop, I know what's right and what's wrong legally wise. And I try to give her advice, but this you can't tell them nothing. Just let them do what they want. Easy that way.
Yeah. So her argument is that's her house over there. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah. Oh, I invested my hard money into it too. I said, what hard money? I said, you came here to the USA. You had to wait almost a year to get your work permit. I said, then you got your work permit. You had to go back to school for almost a year to get your nursing license and all your certificates and mail. It's very expensive mailing school papers back and forth and notarize. And then take classes. You take an English course here in America too, and then finally she become a nurse. Yeah, you become a nurse, you're making 150,000 a year. You make good money in nurse in the
Yeah.
U.S. But she wasn't making that in the beginning. She was making minimum wage. That's all she was making. Toward the end, she got a job. We bought a
Right.
house here in Florida together. That's when she got a job as a nurse and started making crazy money. But you know, I was in the process of building the house when she became the nurse here, but it was almost over by then. So she thinks in her head that she built the house too, but she didn't. I would give her credit for the beach house. I mean, more or less was her money, $22,000 for the beachfront property. But the house that we
Right.
built, no, I say no. But I mean, I even
Yeah.
told her. She told me in the divorce though that I could have the beach house, but there's no way of putting it in my name because we didn't have no title to it yet or nothing. I mean, it was in a process. And then we had to go, and the next thing I know, the mother and father, they had power of attorney. They wanted someone else to do the paperwork. So I mean, it's just a mess. You have no control. If you're not there and you don't understand how the process of buying a house and getting that deed and the paperwork, because if the properties, say the property's in a family and in a family's five siblings, all five siblings have to sign off giving you permission to deed that piece of property because it might be like a hectare and they got to split it five ways and then they all got to sign
Yeah.
off and all their siblings. It's very expensive and it's a lot of mess. So don't buy property in the Philippines if it's not deeded correctly. You know,
Oh,
it's
absolutely. Yeah. And see, that's what I warn guys about. Because see, land disputes are dangerous over here.
yes, yes,
They're very dangerous over here, and they'll get you killed quicker than anything over here. So, you got any last words, Peter? Thank you so much for sharing your story. Like I said, we seem to get all the sugary stories, and those
yeah.
stories they only help us about this much because your story was if I'd have saw you the first year in your marriage, you would have had a sugary story,
Oh, I was a
right?
basket case. I was crying all the time, man. Trust me, I didn't want a divorce, but if
No,
she wanted a divorce,
no,
I gave it to her.
no. I mean, when you first, it was a sugary story in the
Oh,
beginning,
correct.
right? If I would
Yes,
have talked
yes.
to you a year after y'all met, you'd have had a whole different story to tell.
Oh yeah, everything was so great and this and that. Life was
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. See,
Just
because
fast you could turn a
I tell
switch,
people all
life
the time,
changes.
there's some great actresses over here, but they don't
Yeah,
believe me. Your wife
yeah,
was acting. Your wife was
yeah.
acting.
She was.
She
She
was
was acting
acting,
100%.
and they're very patient. Imagine sitting around for however many years. I think you said 7 years y'all were
Yeah,
together until
married. Yeah, 7 years.
everything had gotten to where she could, it was in her benefit to leave and find
Yeah,
somebody else. Man, I couldn't do it.
yeah. I couldn't do it. I mean, it's hard, man. It's real hard, and it took me a lot of time. I was bitter. I mean, the first 2 years of divorce, you go out, you play like crazy, you play hard, and that's what I did. But I wasn't happy, and I was just going through motions to do things. But now I'm in a good place in my head and
Yeah,
my heart, and I'm ready to move on. And just the Philippines is where I always wanted to be. I just don't know where in the Philippines. And it is kind of lonely and scary to go somewhere because a lot of your viewers I see are going because they meet a girl there in the Philippines. They're not going because they want to go. They're going because they're meeting somebody. So for me, going by myself, I got to figure how to
yeah.
get around, what to do, who to be with. You know what I mean? How to make a friend. That's my heart. That's my scary part. You know what I mean? But life, it'll work out.
Man, you shared. Now that was a gem right there. But
Yeah,
no, I hope somebody heard that because that's the
yeah,
reason we move over here for the woman. We really don't move over here for the right reasons. And then when we
yeah,
get over here, it's like, okay, now I got the woman. Now what am I gonna do? Everything starts going
yeah.
downhill. You fighting against yourself because you really don't want to be here. You can't adjust to
Hmm.
culture, the heat, the food, everything like that. And pretty soon you're going to either be a basket case or you're going to go back home. But when you come
Yeah,
over
and
here
make sure the woman can
for
cook,
yourself,
guys. Make sure the woman can cook.
yeah, when you come over here by yourself, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
You gotta learn everything anyway, but there's nobody that's going to be there to hold your hand.
Yeah, I mean, I could speak a lot of Messiah because I've been around it quite a bit. So,
Yeah,
as far as the communication part, if I had to, but they all speak English anyways. But I noticed in the Providence, they're a little scared, and if you throw a few lines in Messiah out, they all of a sudden they warm up to you. Oh, you know the language, so it makes it a little easier
yeah.
that way. But usually I don't say nothing. I
Okay.
just listen.
Well,
You
thank
know.
you so much, Peter. I really, really appreciate it, man. And we'll see you again because I want to have you on my panel
Yeah.
next Tuesday if you're available, which would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
Monday night, which would be Monday night your time, because
Yeah. Monday.
I'm
Okay.
pretty
Yeah.
sure the viewers are going to want to ask you some questions because, man, I'm going to tell you something. If anybody was going to start a channel when they came over here, you would be the perfect one to do it. You've got that. Where are you originally from? Are you from Florida?
I'm from Boston, but I've been in. Yeah, I'm from Boston, but I've been in Florida since
That's
1976.
what I thought.
Yes, I've been in Florida most of my
Yeah,
life.
see, if you just came here, you got that accent, you got that personality, you got that law enforcement background, and you got the experience of living, well, being with the
Yeah.
Philippines and everything. If you just told your life experience, man, you could get a big following, man. I'm not just
Yeah.
trying to build you up. I'm telling you because you got a lot of knowledge that people want. You dropped some real
Oh, thank you.
gems here today, man. And
It
it's
made me
just,
feel good, man.
something for you
I
to
mean, I
think
look forward
about.
to meet you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
meeting you. Anyways, I want to meet you. I want to see your area, what it's like. I want to bounce around a little bit and just
yeah.
see the area everywhere. And I was thinking today, the best way to do it is probably hire a guy on I forgot the little scooter there, not motorcycle, but the motorcycle with the
Oh, yeah,
sidecar.
yeah.
Yeah, and have them show you
Yeah,
around the town, where's what, and what. So, because I'm too afraid to drive.
that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
see,
Okay, I'm
yeah, see some different
gonna get
areas.
off of here. So
All right,
get
buddy.
back, cause it's getting late. Before you let your
No
head hit the
problem.
pillow, please find somebody to help. If you want them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, just getting off second shift while you're on your lunch break, see somebody on the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a few dollars. Did you help a lot of people when you were over here, Peter?
Oh, all the
Besides her
time, man.
family, obviously. Yeah,
Cousins, aunties, you name it, you were helping them. I helped strangers in the street too, but my wife would get mad. Didn't want me to give people that
yeah,
didn't have anything money. Don't give me your money. Don't give me your money. They're gonna take more than what you give. But it's like, you know what? Karma. That's what I believe in. So I mean, I wish her the
that's
best
right.
luck. She wants to be a doctor. I wish she becomes one.
Yeah.
Money doesn't buy happiness, fellas. Let me tell you that right now. So you just gotta be happy with yourself before you be
Wow.
happy with anybody
See,
else. You know, that's the truth.
and that's what we think. But it's funny that you brought that up because you're right. When I first started, with Sunshine Shoulders and stuff, Marilyn would get mad when I would give the money away. When I'd spin the
Mm-hmm.
wheel and give the money and give the groceries, it seemed like she had an attitude. It's like, why don't you want me to help people who obviously need help? But I mean, she's all on board now. But in the
Yeah,
beginning, it was like she had an attitude, especially, with my wife. She really was like, you're gonna go bankrupt over here. You can't
yeah,
plan
yeah,
all that. I'm saying I'm just trying to help people who are obviously suffering during the pandemic. You
yeah.
know, because if
I'm
I
a
don't
sucker for
do anything
children.
else, Peter, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see you next time. Look for my link Monday night. It'll be
All right,
Monday night your time, Peter. Okay. I
the
think you're
same link
13
here.
hours behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna send you
All right,
another one.
another
Okay.
one. Okay.
All right. Take care, Peter.
All right.
Have a
Hey,
nice
peace
evening,
out, man.
brother.
You too. God
Okay.
bless. Bye bye.